and needed in order to come out and to be victorious. So when I started to meet him and I got close enough to him that I could hear his heartbeat, that I could hear him speaking to me clearly, I couldn't help but write it down. I couldn't help but write it down because otherwise I'd forget it the next day. So I want to share, so Mary Magdalene was a lot like me, and I cried a lot of tears. Every time I get close to him, I start crying, I start weeping. I think I'm washing his feet, you know, and he's so amazing and so awesome. Let me just share something from the book in chapter 2. Talks about getting into position with God. One of the conditions God desires of us is a broken heart and a contrite spirit. He says it in Psalms 51 and 17. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit and a contrite heart. And I want to say, God, why do you want my heart broken? I did. I said, God, why does my heart have to be broken? Why do you want your people's heart to be broken? But if you think about it, when your heart is broken, you cry out for God. Whatever life deals you. I've had close friends of mine lose children and things like that completely breaks your heart, breaks you. And then you cry out to God. Even those who never maybe even cried on him before, or cried out to him, will do that. So Lord, why do you want our heart broken? So listen what I learned just from talking and listening to him. So because he's always near. He says, I'm near the brokenhearted. So when my heart is broken, my God is right here. He's right here. So, let me read on. I once cried for 3 weeks straight. My heart had been broken by a failed relationship, and I could not bear being alone again. Every time I see a couple holding hands, having dinner, or even just having a conversation, I feel this tugging pain in my heart, and I could not hold back the tears. I truly cried for day and night and hid from my children and my family and friends. I could not bear being in a room with others who were in love because I was broken. I had failed yet again at trying this I love him thing. Well, what I had not realized that all this pain was by design in order to correct my misconception of true love and would begin a healing process. And now I know that God is loving. And I loved the wrong way at every attempt. So God corrected it and has shown me how to love others with the love of Christ. And that was a hard and painful lesson. But in the end, I win. And I go on to talk about King David and his passion for God. And I use biblical people he uses them still today. To teach us the lessons, because his lessons are from generation to generation. There's no timetables attached to it. And it's an amazing journey, it's an amazing walk. The closer you get to him, the more power he'll release for you to overcome things that may have been holding you back. See, actually, every single one of us has something we need to be set free from. Something. You know what the worst deception and bondage is? Denial. Some people walk around, some people's bondage is obvious. A person on drugs or a person with a gambling problem, those are obvious bondages. But denial is a secret, silent, destructive bondage that will hold you back. You can kid everybody else and even kid yourself. But in the end, you come up short because you're living in denial. So it talks about being set free. That's what the book is about. It's about healing and being set free. And I'm not a perfect, I just did it. I just walked it out. There's some corrections and some additions, and even since I published this, I realized that I really need to rewrite it and add some more stuff to it. But I wanted to get it out. Right. I had to do it. I had to do it and have it in my hand and then keep moving. And who knows what God's going to do with it. Honey, I got Oprah and Queen Latifah and all of them on my list. I'm sitting every single one of them a book. Who knows what God will do with it? You know? So, and I'm the bold one who just don't say. Because when you get to be my age, you don't care what nobody thinks about you. I only care what God thinks about you. But you know what? Don't spend your time worried about what somebody else thinks about you. Because they probably ain't thinking about you anyway. So I want to tell each and every one of you, I love you. You mean a lot to me. And even if I just met you today, I love you. And I've learned how to love with the love of Jesus. And that's a hard one for us humans. Because he says, love your enemies. How do you love somebody who despitefully used you to pray for them? You know, that's not our natural reaction. But the closer we get to him, the more we want to do to please him, the more he blesses you. I cannot tell you how God has blessed me just dropping stuff out to heaven into my bank account, out to heaven into my body to heal me, out to heaven into places where I've been praying for. It's amazing. It's an amazing journey. So the power is available to every single one of us. That same power is available to every single one of us. And so I say go get it. Just go get your share of the power you need to overcome anything. And I said I wasn't going to preach. But I want to thank a few people. I want to thank a few people that God sent to me. People who, you know, they're a blessing when they say, well, you don't have to pay me for that. Now that's a blessing from God. This cover design is beautiful, huh? It's beautiful. I had bought a website and I thought if I use that picture on the website, I might get in trouble. If I sell 1 million copies and somebody gonna see that and say, ooh, that's my picture, and try to get it. So I called up a person. I said, Lord, who's gonna design my book? I called up a person that I had worked with in business before, Jamie Stidell. And he is the most gifted graphic artist in the land. So he designed it. I said, well, I wanted the sky and the blue skies, the comic, but safari, and my hands are lifted up because that's where the power comes from up there. So he designed this for me. He took the picture, so I want to publicly thank you, Jamie, for just being obedient. He blessed me. God used him to bless me. David Bella came along. I'm making this list of people I need. Well, somebody said you need a publicist. Well, what's a publicist do? Google publicist. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So then this lady calls me and says, hey, I heard you wrote a book. I want to, can you come speak at Women's Empowerment? Yes, exactly. That's what the book is about, empowering people. And she says, well, I said, well, what do you do? She says, I'm a publicist. I was like, oh, wow. Wow. So anyway, Griselda, I thank you. God's blessings resting upon people who give. When you give, guess what happens? He said, give and you shall receive. So this woman, we're going to do some powerful things. God's going to help us move some things across the earth. And of course, my daughters, my sister friends who prayed with me, who cried with me, who believed in me, who's patting me on the back. Any of you read chapters for me? Because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, look, read this. I don't like English. I was a math person. Read this. See if this makes sense. So all of you who helped me with that, I thank you so dearly. People who've inspired me, Dr. DeLisi, Antoinette Middleton, Clara, all the successful, there's a lot of successful people in this room. But I want to tell you, successful people, there's a little bit more you can have than what you have right now by reaching up and getting some more power and applying that to your life. So I love you so much. I want to have fun. I hope you enjoy the food. Mark Jenkins, where are you? My brother, my brother. My brother from another mother. You know what? I love this man right here. Thank you, Mark. Isn't this place lovely? Yeah. So invite us all back for your real grand opening. This is a soft opening, but now you know where it is. I don't want to miss anybody. By name, who? Oh, my son. He's my inspiration. And my aggravation. But I love him very much. So my daughters have always, my grandchildren, they had to be here. I love you so much. Billy Moore, thank you for being one of my sandpaper brother. You know, sandpaper sharpens us. Iron sharpens iron, it makes me shine and makes me better. Thank you. So, anyway, I won't give him the microphone because he did. Anyway. Oh, the chef, Chris. What do you think of these hors d'oeuvres? That man is young, and he just turned it up. Yum, yum, yum. So thank you, Chris. John goes in the back. Thank you for giving us some music. So let's just have some fun. We have the dance floor. We have the, hey, shh, don't tell my friend, but we can stay here as long as we want. Because he owns the place, and this is a private party. Hey.